Well, I watched an episode of Stranger Things. I just am allergic to whatever the pacing is for these ongoing streaming shows.
Mm.
Um, I can't think of any show that I started watching specifically on streaming that I really stuck with. However, there is one that I keep coming back to whenever they come out with new episodes, and I happen to have an Apple Plus subscription.
Yes.
And that is Prehistoric Planet. Unlike previously, Apple TV's Prehistoric Planet is not talking about the same like slice of the world 65 million years ago. I think they were saying it was like 10,000 years before the asteroid hit. Now, this time we get a nice swath of the ice ages.
Mm.
Uh, and basically, it's covering things like a 2 million to 10,000 year ago slice of time. And so you kind of almost get to see like the rise and fall of the ice ages because there wasn't an ice age. There were a series of pulses and things happened as the ocean levels rose and dropped.
Mm.
Um, okay, so I'll say as like a big time paleo nerd, there wasn't a whole lot here that was really surprising or new to me. Just because I listen to a lot of YouTube channels where they will just do a deep dive on, oh hey, here's this new thing we found out, or yeah, or here's this crazy creature that you never heard of before. And so with this one, it's things that I would probably pick out if I was doing this sort of documentary.
Yeah.
Um, so it basically has the same criticisms as I did of the first season for our first couple of seasons. Um, Now, production-wise, it's still Jon Favreau's company, still using the tech they made the Lion King quote-unquote live-action movies with,
Mm. Yeah.
uh, which there is a cynical part of me that wonders if he invested so heavily in realistic animal animation specifically to make these rather than the Lion Kings.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, he might have had like either Disney or somebody who another investor in that movie who was like, where he's like, okay, I'll make this movie, but I want to have this production company to do this stuff, and they're like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yep. Well, those movies made enough bank that he was able to come back for a third season, so it worked for him.
Yeah.
Um, so there are 5 episodes of this thing, and also they took Attenborough out and replaced him with Tom Hiddleston, who does
Mm.
a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
Actually, now I'm almost suspicious of my memory. Was it actually Loki? Let's find out.
Well, I mean, if it's
If it was,
Favreau, it kind of
if it was Tom Hiddleston, yep,
Tom Wilson, yeah, yeah, that kind of that makes sense with the that Marvel connection there.
yep.
Uh,
But there really isn't a whole lot of story to talk about per se, because unlike, say, the classic Walking with Dinosaurs, they didn't really. So with those, you would like pick a time and place, and you would just hyper focus on that.
mm,
Um, so be like, oh, it's Australia 90 million years ago when it was in the Arctic Circle, or excuse me, Antarctic Circle.
mm,
So we have these dinosaurs that have to deal with extreme cold all the time.
mm.
Um, or it's uh, we'll follow more or less this troop of small dinosaurs. With this one, it's more like the Planet Earth series where it's like they've taken a film crew, quote unquote, and gone out to shoot some neat scenes of various creatures, and they just kind of intersplice them together.
Uh,
So it doesn't really have like it has a bunch of short narratives. I would almost say that the best way to enjoy this would be uh, individual clips on YouTube
mm.
because I kind of made the mistake of turning this on while I was doing other things yesterday and in the background and watching four and a half episodes of this back to back before it got too late was a bit much.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because as far as I can tell, they didn't space this out week by week like they did with the previous ones. They just dropped it all at once.
Hmm. That's interesting. Yeah, yeah. Apple usually does a week-to-week schedule with their shows. Huh. I wonder why they
Yeah,
did
so
that.
yeah, I could be mistaken, but I remember YouTube channels that I follow only put out the reviews of it a couple weeks back, and like some of them even got early access. Um,
Mm.
the other thing I'll say is that okay, it's really funny. It just I think it shows you the difference of how people think about mammals versus reptiles and birds.
Yeah.
Uh, in the dinosaur shows, they could not stop killing babies all over the place.
Oh, jeez.
Like the opening scene of that one, where you had a T-Rex dad taking his babies across a stretch of water. One of them gets eaten by a mosasaur. They have a scene with a bunch of pterosaurs that hatch and have to fly into the protection of these woods. But there's every predator out there trying to get them,
Oh, God.
and a
Uh,
lot don't make it.
mm, jeez.
But this one, it's almost like, okay, I don't really want to watch a baby mammoth die, but you keep teasing it so often.
It's like Monty Python. Get on with it.
Yep. It's like, come on, you cowards! You aren't going to kill a baby elephant.
Yeah.
Like it keeps happening.
Yeah.
But sorry for minor spoiler alerts if you watch this. But
Yeah.
if there's a scene with a baby elephant in danger, he's not going to die. Um,
Yeah.
what I will give them credit for is just the sheer variety of creatures they managed to show off. Because there's a lot of giant ground sloths and not so giant ground sloths that they show, and you get everything from Arctic versions that are just covered in white hair to mostly bald Central American versions,
Mm.
just showing the difference in the climate. You get crazy creatures like the marsupial lion, which is basically a killer wombat. Actually, no, more of a killer koala, I should say.
Oh, oh.
Um, Uh, Now there are some technical like accuracy questions you could ask of this show. One YouTube channel I follow was a guy who actually has done more work on the like life history of the marsupial lion than anybody else, and his question was, "Huh, I don't remember anybody ever doing a biomechanical study that said they couldn't run more than 10 miles an hour."
Okay.
So like if you have somebody at his level poking holes in it, then
Yeah.
uh, there's some room for nitpickery. The other nitpick, and I don't think I would have necessarily noticed this if I hadn't seen somebody else mention it in a review. Uh, Sometimes they can get very vague about what you're actually looking at. Like
Yeah.
they take a glyptodon, which is like a giant armadillo covered in like extra armor with a spiky tail, and they actually basically call it a giant armadillo. And I'm thinking to myself, part of the reason that I, as a kid, could rattle off the names of dinosaurs is that they told me the names of these dinosaurs in, in ancient life in general. Like calling a glyptodont, like a unnamed glyptodon, a giant armadillo is about as useful as if in the dinosaur show it was like, and so like a T-Rex is walking by. This enormous bird relative rules these jungles.
That's not helpful.
No, now they do have some nice bits, like a 10-minute bit after each episode, going over how they know some of the things they know. And there are a lot of nice little. I said like I wasn't too surprised, but like a lot of nice little things that people just might not know about. Like in the I want to say it's like on the island of Flores, you had these miniature elephants being hunted by giant storks and things like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Which island dwarfism is a thing.
Yeah. And Urko says, my people, how far we have fallen."
Yes, yes, truly. Come on, sloths, get with the program. You used to be a really substantial part of the fauna, and you just fell apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Overall, though, this is definitely like on a whole different level than that Walking with Dinosaurs remake that I reviewed a couple months back. Um, they do a better job of like making the information they give you flow better. Rather than interspersing it and interrupting the flow of the story, they just have it at the end if you're interested in it, and if you're not, you can just skip on to the next episode. Um,
Yeah.
Again, don't. Again, like I would almost say, like, do not watch these back to back.
Oh.
Just stretch it out over a couple of days or weeks. You'll have a better time.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.